What is up, party people? It's your boy. You already know the OGP. A win is a win. TFO, the flawless one. We got my man Chux over here. We're going to have somebody popping in real quick. It's the second episode of Films Don't Lie. Your show here, all football on A2D Radio. You know where you can find us on all social, A2D Radio, podcast, Pocket Cast, Spotify, everywhere you want to listen to us in any type of medium, whether it's visual, whether it's audio. If you are watching this when it does drop, the poll question is leave your comments in the poll of how you answer the question. And we're going to talk some football. It's wild card round 2025. Really two upsets kind of, but I don't really see them as upsets. And then pretty much the rest of the slate was chalk. So we're going to hop into it tonight. We're going to talk about our poll. We're going to talk about our three-step drop. And you already know we got no huddle, which I think with our guests, we may be getting some little more on the technical side. It's a familiar face that was on A2D, still part of the A2D family from afar. It's our brother, Coach Markus. He's welcome to join us right now tonight. As you can see, he's down in the bottom. Say what's up to the people, Markus. If they don't know, now they know.
What's going on? If you don't know, now you know. Coach Markus, Pro Fan Talk. Still rocking with my family at A2D, man. You know, we rock together. We talk a lot on Twitter and the X and all that kind of good stuff, man. Still keeping it real, watching our birds handle their business. I need Kellen Moore to step his game up, but you know, we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go.
I see right over your shoulder. It's my left, and I'm looking at your screen. I think it's your right shoulder. You know, and that beautiful layout graphic behind you. My man puts a lot of work into the presentation, as you can see. Top flight. Got me thinking about top flight security from Friday after next. But nah, man. So I'm gonna jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Wild card round poll question. Jayden Daniels had the most impressive performance of the wild card round. Agree or disagree? So I know they always say you get guests over to the house, you want to let them go first. So I'm gonna stick status quo. Markus, the floor is yours, Coach.
I'm not gonna disagree. I don't have no problem with that, but honestly, I would say the Texans defense. Because everybody picked the Chargers to beat them, and them jokers showed up and they showed out. That's got to be one of the most physical games that I've seen the Texans play all year. So they showed up when it counted, right at the right time when it mattered the most. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that energy up going into next week. But I ain't mad at you if you picking Jayden Daniels because that young fella is getting it done. Coaching matters, man. And you got the right kid with the right coach, and that makes a difference. A lot of people, I saw a lot of commentary about, you know, the Jayden Daniels and your boy in Chicago.
Caleb
Williams. And it's amazing how much better Jayden Daniels looks as opposed to Caleb Williams, and their stats is almost the same. So coaching matters, man, and how the output is now. I know Caleb Williams wishes he had a scary Terry, but it is what it is. But Jayden Daniels has been as advertised, and he's paying dividends and is going to bring some. He's gonna end he has already ended the drought for Washington.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Chux, what say ye?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to, you know, with us being Eagles fans, like we kind of don't want to admit it, but you know, we all three of us, we know how to keep it real at the same time. You know, that's why we're, you know, Pete, that's why we're doing this show. Like we keep it real. Yeah, I absolutely agree to the poll. And the Texans defense as an answer too is a great answer. Absolutely phenomenal answer. And I wanted to dive into that, you know, later in the show. But you know, they balled out 100%. So they're definitely right up there in the conversation. But I have to give Jayden Daniels his flowers. I mean, not that I've been hating all year, but it's also the point of, you know, he does get so hyped up by the national media, you know, and they tend to do that. They did it last year with CJ Stroud, who we will, you know, also discuss later on the show. But like, you wanted to kind of just be like, okay, like he's balling out, but let's calm down. Let's not call him elite yet. Bucky Brooks, right? Already call him elite. Like, let's wait until, and this goes for any player, not just Jayden. Let's wait until they put up multiple seasons of consistent high level, right, before we call them elite.
Right.
That's part of the conversation. So even though I push back in that regard, no matter how you spin it, he's been balling all year, and looking like he's a veteran and not a rookie. And this game the performance against the Buccaneers was, to me, immensely impressive because, again, he doesn't look like a rookie, and he went in there on the road and was poised and just continued to make plays. And the Commanders' offense over the past 25 years by EPA, whether you do EPA per play or overall EPA, they are the best team in the past 25 years on fourth down. And Jayden Daniels is a big reason for that. And we saw it in that second matchup, right, against the Commanders, Eagles Commanders. There were fourth downs. That one fourth down run, he scrambled and made a play on it with his legs. He was doing that consistently again in this game. Fourth down. Like, it was getting annoying seeing how good they are on fourth down. And so being able to do stuff like that, put the team on his back and make the game sealing play to set up that game winning field goal, which was very close, by the way, but he still made that scramble to get the first down. You're talking about like flag football, he's I forget the defender of the ball.
Elijah Cansey.
Yeah. He grabbed Daniels' towel, and that's all he could get. He had him in his grasp, and Daniels was able to, squirm free and get that first down. Just phenomenal play. So, I agree, and I think that as a football fan, it's really good to see because you're seeing, an actual franchise QB for the Commanders come along. They've been searching for that, and you just, as a football fan, also you just gotta hope that he doesn't turn out to be the next RG3, which I don't think he will be because I think he's already exhibiting skills and stuff that RG3 just never really had, and that we kind of glossed over during his rookie season. But Jayden Daniels is amazing. So I'm giving him his flowers. I agree to the poll.
All right, so I disagree to the poll. I disagree to the poll vehemently because if you listen to the national pundits, he didn't show me anything that we already haven't seen and didn't expect. Bucky Brooks had him as elite above Jalen Hurts before the first snap of that game. Other pundits have been saying the same thing. He's been in the MVP conversation. You go back to late October, the Eagles didn't have a chance to win the division. It was the Commanders. I'm happy for him. I like the root for the kid. It does make it tough because he is in Washington. But my thing is this. You just look at that game in a vacuum. They put up 23 against the Buccaneers. Todd Bowles. He handled Todd Bowles well. They played a lot of zone. And it was an unforced error that got them back in the game. Mm. So I take a look at all of that. Now, if you say you disagree to the poll, Pete, if you ask yourself, if you're watching this, you listen to this, who you giving it to? I'm giving it to the Eagles defense. I know Coach Markus gave it to the Texans defense. I'm giving it to the Eagles defense. Mm-hmm. You talk about physicality. Jokers was leaving the game. They didn't want to get hit. So, we've seen it all season. But to set the tone from the very first play with Oren Burks now, who's taking on a bigger role now with Nakobe tearing his patella tendon, set the tone. You know what I mean? For the whole game. And we saw everybody bringing it. You saw Reed he didn't purposely. And the thing is, when I say take out, I'm talking about clean, fundamental hits. Yep. Hit with your eyes. Hit with your head. Don't duck your head. Don't do any of that. Catchers coming out the game. Josh Jacobs got that one run that put him in goal line. That's going to happen. You wearing them down. The game was tight. But the defense in of itself, everything matters more now. Yeah, they can have the number one ranked defense throughout the year. And the biggest thing is, these cats that's doing it now wasn't doing it last year. It was 11-6 collapse out of the game, out of the season, right? Mm-hmm. Jalen Carter stepping it up. Milton Williams sneakily is becoming a top priority this offseason.
1,000%.
And we sat here, we talked about Jalen Carter taking a big step from last year to this, from last year to this year. Even Nakobe. No one's on that defense has taken a bigger step than Noah Smith.
Yeah.
when BG went down, we were like, where are we going to get this from?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't Bryce Huff.
Sure.
Ain't Bryce Huff.
He can't stay healthy. That wrist, and he's out. But at the same time, it's Smith he's doing it in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it for pressures. He's feeding pressure up the middle. So now it's almost defenses have to account for him. Q getting his first interception. Who's a rookie? Coop is a rookie. I hear you. I get the Jalen Daniels praise. These dudes this is their first game too in the playoffs where everything matters, win or go home. I understand you had 17 regular season games, but that's a different feel. And these cats is hitting the rookie wall and then busting through that wall and still have to go with the expectations of, hey, listen, we could have had as a team an all-time record. We put that aside for a team goal. Let's go get this goal. So I get it. I've seen Jayden Daniels do it against us in the fourth quarter. That doesn't surprise me none because I've seen them do that. I haven't seen my defense play like that against an 11-win team in the playoffs with young rookies or second-year players. It's one thing to do that, and the other thing is Matt LaFleur, underrated coach. I like Matt LaFleur a lot.
1,000%, yeah.
But you could tell, 93, Chris Slayton got the unsportsmanlike.
He gave him the business.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do when you got players on the other sideline acting like that. That's when you feel like these dudes is just lashing out because they truly know they just got their tails handed to them.
Yeah, for
60 minutes. The scoreboard may not seem like it. Packers was in that game.
Yeah.
They may have did better. I don't want to say. I can't even say they did better playing Malik Willis. I honestly think our defense played like that. I don't know who. It doesn't matter to me who on the other side.
It does.
LaFleur had coach's lament.
Yeah,
that was a coach's lament because what we did to Green Bay. When a coach is sitting there looking at the opportunities that they literally dropped, that is the most frustrating thing. The penalties, when your boy got the personal foul, all of that type of stuff. And you could tell the look on his face. It was like, why would you do that? Like you haven't done that before. Why are you doing it now? Like
out of character.
Exactly. That was the coach's lament. And then in that fourth quarter, man, that was like, damn, body bowl 2. Yeah. Everybody was falling up out of that. And I tell you what, man, that hit with Nolan Smith. Normally, I talked last year about Nolan Smith not being big enough and he was losing the battle of physics. He bulked up in the offseason, kept his speed.
Yep.
And when he put that kid out, hit that joker, because I say the same thing. Keep your head up, see what you hit.
Yep.
And he put his helmet right in that joker's shoulder, and immediately that joker went, because I thought the kid had a burner at first.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to take him out because a burner is basically a concussion with a pinched nerve.
Yep.
But when he could, 5 minutes later, when he wasn't moving that shoulder, I was like, oh, he popped that shoulder up out of there.
Yeah.
But Nolan Smith and all of that, in my opinion, stems from what they are getting, the production they are getting out of Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter demands a double team now. So that means everybody else has got to eat. Williams has got to eat. Josh Sweat's got to eat. Let's not forget Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat been balling. Jalen Hunt has been balling.
Yep.
So
rookie.
Everything that Jalen Carter is spreading to everybody else. And let's not forget, I'm very curious as to how he's going to do with Milt Williams. Because Mario Jomo is back there waiting in the wings, and he ain't no joking.
Yeah.
So we in good shape. We in good shape.
We are in good shape. Yeah, that's pointing out the Eagles defense too. I mean, if you talk about the defensive units that impressed the most, it's definitely Eagles and Texans. I mean, they absolutely suffocated. I mean, shout out to the Rams too. They did a great job with Sam Darnold, and it's awesome to see performances like that. Absolutely. The only thing I kick back is you can have that as an answer. Eagles defense. I don't know if I think it's fair to say vehemently disagree with Jayden Daniels, because I think like I said, national pundits are going to they're going to overhype Jayden Daniels next year. If there's a rookie quarterback that balls out, they're going to overhype that. That's how it is. But if you look at it soundly, right, from with an objective and level-headed mind, which is what we always try to do, is he was still a rookie. He was still a rookie, and what was it, week 18? He wasn't playing well against the Cowboys, and like he had his middle of the season. Remember that first matchup with us against the Eagles? He didn't look great. So I mean, like
he didn't look great in the second one. But that's what I'm saying. Not to cut you off. Yeah. I've seen him do that, and you said it in our chat. We kind of wanted the Bucs because we could see that their defense isn't good.
Yeah.
Their defense. It's good at stopping the run, but when it comes to a mobile quarterback, and that's the one thing I'll give Jayden credit for, is when he isn't in these open lanes and we see how he's slight of frame, he makes himself smaller. And even on that 4th and 12 run against us in that second game, he has the ability to make guys miss. Yeah. We always say, you brought up RG3. What happens when you don't make a guy miss?
Yeah,
he burned.
He still does get leveled a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, but I'm talking. He gets squared up. You know what's it's going to happen. It may happen Saturday. We don't know because Aaron Glenn is going to bring the rain.
Oh yeah,
somebody gonna catch him.
Yeah,
somebody gonna catch him slipping.
Right, and the Texans defense, they're getting healthier as the seasons went on. And they know, and D'Amico Ryans knows, and Bobby Slowick knows, like, listen, I don't have these tools on offense. We got to turn into a defensive team. And the defense, Will Anderson, Derek Barnett, I'm missing it, and Danielle Hunter.
You had to include Derek Barnett.
Because I'm just thinking of that. I'm thinking of their D-line and Danielle Hunter. And they go and Stingley is quiet as kept. He's starting to live up to that pick. And they play like a unit. And
don't forget Lassiter.
Yeah, Kwame Lassiter too. Last week.
Yeah. Balling.
So I mean, and not to steer the conversation, but I'm going to steer it. Was that more the Texas defense? Where are you now at it with Justin Herbert?
Oh, we're going to talk about it now because I was going to bring it up. No huddle. If you want to talk about it now, we can talk about it now.
Yeah, we might as well just because I'm at this level now, Coach, where I'm like, I need people to start being on Justin Herbert, like they was riding Lamar, like they ride Jalen.
Yeah,
because, bro,
some of that I saw a little bit of that in the national media, and rightfully so. At the end of the day, that kind of, for me, it kind of goes back to the argument of Jalen Hurts just doesn't check the right boxes. So you're looking at all of the isms and the ists. And you can take that for what it is. So,
exactly.
Everybody wants the 6'4". Like I always use this. You juxtapose when Shane Steichen had Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Now he got Anthony Richardson, who is taller, faster, stronger, got a missile launcher for an arm, guidance system not included.
Yeah.
But he got zero leadership skills.
Yeah.
So
he took himself out of the game.
Out of the game. And that will always haunt him.
Yes.
Always haunt him. So I just look at Jalen. No, it's not always pretty.
Yep.
But it's always effective.
Yes.
So, and I'm expecting this weekend, number one, you got a warm weather team gonna face a snowstorm. So Matthew Stafford, he don't run anyways. So now you got to sit in the pocket when it's cold.
Not as old as he is, yeah.
Nah, and if you out in LA and you ain't used to that sleet and that, because the only thing worse than being cold is being wet and cold.
Yep.
Now you're
windy. Yep.
Man.
When that wind hit that wet skin, oh my God.
The craziest thing is when I used to play in college, it was always a game where it was cold and it was wet. And that first tackle, when that cold water hits your lower half, and it was like a shock to the system. And the anticipation of it was worse than it actually happened. So but yeah, man. So we got the advantage of that, man, and we'll handle business. And real quick, I wanted to say this about Jayden Daniels. Let's not forget that Jayden Daniels is getting all his preps for no other reason than him being a rookie. Yep. But he is 2 plays away from not being in the playoffs. If Devontae Smith catches that ball, they lose. Or if Chicago don't shit the bed with the Hail Mary, They're not in the playoffs, so it's amazing.
Not even just that. With the whole that's 3 games because they should have lost. They really should have lost Week 18 to the Cowboys. They scored 16 seconds left.
Yep.
Mariota. That wasn't even Jayden Daniels. That was Mariota. That wasn't even Jayden.
Yeah. And then looking at the Commanders, looking at that game I look at that game more as Tampa lost that game versus the Commanders winning that game.
The 2 operational mishaps.
Yes. They couldn't run the ball whatsoever.
They didn't make the play. They didn't, and Bucky Irvin's been killing them all. Irvin's been balling all year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Baker Mayfield made the wrong mistake at the wrong time.
Yep.
Multiple. Yeah. I mean that is also the difference. Like, I mean, like it is. We talk about like on your road to the Super Bowl, even deep in the playoffs, you need some luck, right? Like it comes down to
absolutely
bounces, 1 play, 2 plays. So I mean, like I'm not going to discredit the Commanders and Daniels for being here. And like you said, Baker made the mistakes. Baker and the rest of that offense made 2 critical mistakes late, and
it cost him.
Jayden Daniels made the most out of his opportunities. Again, like 4th down, money down, like being the best 4th down team in the past 25 years is insane. And so it's good. I mean, and then when you talk about Herbert, what I'll say is this is, I defend Herbert a lot because I think that the noise against him does get a little bit too much at times.
Too loud.
It gets a little bit too loud because it's just like, yeah, he's super talented, absolutely super talented. So I always want to keep that at the forefront in terms of, hey, like make sure we keep it buck. Like he is a great talent at quarterback, but at the same time, I agree right with you that the national media, you've got your Chase Daniels, you got I forget who else would say like even guys that I respect, analysts that I respect, that I follow. They have their prototypes. They have what they look for. Like what you said, Mark, is 100% true. They want a quarterback to look a certain way and be able to do certain things. And because Jalen doesn't do that, he doesn't get as looked highly. But this falls in line with Herbert because he's entering Dak territory, right? Like Shane Half, a good friend of mine on Twitter, he said he's looking at Herbert a lot like Dak right now. In terms of super talented, but just couldn't get it done in the playoffs. And both of them are like kind of more talented versions of Kirk Cousins, right? Just average, decent quarterback, never could get it done in big moments. Like that, I do not know why that gets overlooked. Being able to come up huge in big moments. Like
the clutch gene.
Hurts is unconventional, yes. But haven't we seen Hurts in big moments make whatever play is necessary, whether it be throwing a dime to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or using his legs to make a play. When it comes to big moments, he's shown he can do it and step up and make those plays. So why does that not get more credence and weight than the prototypical strong arm, good size, prototypical kind of stuff?
Because we Philly, man. We Philly. Hurts outplayed the best in the business.
Yes. Super Bowl
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
We did not lose that game because of Hurts, and that's including the fumble.
Yes.
We lost that game because of defense and that damn special teams punt return.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's how we lost that game.
And the crappy field because our defensive line was negated.
Yeah, negated.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But Chux, to your point, man, Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, and Dak Prescott, they all need to get together and go bowling.
Dude, so that's the one thing I can say. I think Teddy Bruschi said it best, and he said if there's any concerns about Jalen Hurts for him going, he's like Jalen, he'll play the quarterback position within that game, he does what he does sometimes. And this one I had to agree. It's like he does what he needs to do in that game to win that game. And we sit here and say that optically, right? The pundits, we ain't even got to look far. I was watching the game when people was like, man, the offense didn't look this bad from the passing standpoint when Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee was in there. Now, I will say one thing. Tanner McKee's 6'6". Height helps with your vision. But
yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know what you're doing and what you're processing and can look at, Anthony Richardson's a prime example. The height is useless. If Jalen Hurts was the height of Tanner McKee, oh my God, it'd be a completely different story.
Completely different story, yeah.
It's a completely different because I mean Jalen Hurts is what, 6 foot, maybe 6'1",
6 foot,
maybe 6.
When I seen him, I would give him 6'1" because I've been right next to him, so I would give him like 6 foot and 3/4 or something like that.
Okay,
but so to your point,
right?
Maybe he's 6'2" with the cleats. So, but to your point, man, why are we not calling the game plan like they did with Tanner McKee? Tanner McKee did not have the ball in his hands for very long when they had him in the game. Why can't we call them quick passes?
It was quick. People were open. You sat there, right? Like I said, I go back to it, right over your right shoulder. We all seen it.
Yeah. And it still looks like we don't have good hot routes. I still don't understand that. They had 7 men on the line of scrimmage the other day against Green Bay. And I'm like, you had Smitty on the left side in the slot. And I'm like, if that's not a hot route, a quick slant right off the bat, all 7 are coming.
Yeah.
That should have been a hot route right off the bat. I don't understand why that's not in it. Now, that was the play. We were in the red zone, and that was the play where I think Jahan Dotson ran the wrong play because both him and Smitty ran out routes.
Yep.
But still, everybody was on the line. You had 7 on the line. Somebody got to be a hot digging right behind the line of
right behind where the pressure coming.
And then the touchdown to Goddard was because they were like, okay, he's hot. So like, and you see Jalen get the ball out quick because he knows it's a zero blitz. So he got it out hot to Goddard, and you saw what happened. So like, I called it is that like that possession in the red zone, when we got to the red zone, Green Bay brought it on 2 downs. So was it 1st and 3rd down? They brought zero blitz, right? And for some reason, as if we haven't seen it all year, the offense looked like unprepared for it. But I was like, they're going to be prepared for it from now on. And the moment that Green Bay did it again, I think what was that, late 3rd when Goddard had the touchdown? That's when we capitalized. But like, it's just little things like that. It's like I don't know I don't know why it took that. Like you've seen it.
It's not even that. It's like when we were running the ball, and then for some magical reason, we just stopped running it. Like I truly feel like these coaches, they have egos, just like people get on AJ Brown for reading a book on the sideline or saying passing is whatever you want to call it. Coaches want to dictate the game. It's like, hey, all right, I feel like I should call this play. I want to see if it's going to work. And it doesn't work. And then what happens is that can run into a bigger issue, a bigger trend throughout the game to where you just have an inefficient drive. And that's the one thing I can say about the playoffs is every drive counts. Whether it has to be an objective. An objective doesn't necessarily have to be points. The objective can be, hey, giving your defensive rest. The objective could be change your field position or something. But nothing irks me more when the drives are just and the plays are just inefficient. Because you have the skill positions with the offensive line to minimize that inefficiency. Because I don't think from a talent perspective, there's nothing that the other opposing defenses can do where we shouldn't have an answer for what they do.
And we've done it before.
Exactly. We've done it before. And I don't know if that's Nick. I don't know if that's Kellen. I don't know if it's partly Jayden. Like we seen Frank Duffy. He said this is the first ever drop back traditional pass in Jalen Hurts' career. So if he did it, he looked like a gazelle doing it that was just born, but he did it.
He did it. And he never went back to it. We never went back to it.
Never. I still get pissed off when they continually try to run the ball up the middle. And I'm like, why are we not zone reading? Yeah. How come it pisses me off even more. You probably see me on Twitter, Chux. And I'm like, why am I watching everybody else pitch their running backs outside?
Yep.
Why can't we do every now and then pitch them outside? Why are we so content on just trying to go up the middle? And I don't get it.
They keep them honest. I mean, like it's I'll break the first run of the game was an inside zone, and that's one of the things we'll break down. But like I think with Kellen Moore, this is just my guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think with Kellen Moore and Stout, they try to bring a lot of variety and mix. They do a lot of variance in the run game, the schemes. Like they call everything now, and that wasn't always the case before. Like Stoutland had his run designs that he preferred, right? He always went to them inside zone, pin and pull, stuff like that. Now with Moore, it's expanded. We run counter a lot, and I think that to your point, to get to the outside, like counter, I'd argue I don't have the data, I haven't charted it, but being someone who's watched every single run play on tape for the Eagles, I would argue that counter is the best run design we execute.
But the problem with that is if everybody sees it coming, and I'm not talking about run outside all the time. To me, as a running back, when you pitch the ball outside, that is the running back's play action because you stretch the defense out, which sets up the zone read. Then all you got to do is pistol or ace, hand the ball off as deep as possible, and let a running back do what running backs do. There's no location. You just pick the hole and you go to it. That's the benefit of the zone read, but you got to set it up getting outside. Outside opens up everybody else because the minute, and here's the other thing, when we run play action out of gun is for shit.
Yeah.
You got to be a pistol formation and ace because when the linebacker sees this, that arm come out, instincts takes over. See ball, get ball.
Yeah.
And all you need is to take that, 1 to 2 steps flowing. You create that 3 to 5 yards of space with that one step.
Yes.
And that opens everything up. Then you run a cutback. Then you run up the middle. Everything else opens up. But I don't understand why they force the issue up the middle. It's great until it isn't.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be that way. And I hate when I'm watching Jahmyr Gibbs zone read for 100-something yards. It's everybody's doing it. And nobody can stop it.
Yeah.
You run it till they stop it. And for whatever reason, we don't do that. We try to run it until it breaks.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You got to find what works and then run it till they stop it. And then when they stop it, you just run it on the other side.
Yeah.
But I'll take my chances, pitch Saquon outside, and I will take his speed. If not for nothing, we'll get 3 yards.
2-3 yards, maybe 4.
Maybe he'll make somebody miss. Maybe somebody, gives one of the DBs a chicken wing and he turns that into 12 to 15. Who knows? Right. But I will take that chance of him racing to the corner as opposed to him going up the gut. Because now he's losing the battle of physics. I'll take him one-on-one against a DB, not necessarily against a linebacker and a 300-pound defensive line. That don't make sense.
And also, you would think it would minimize the chance of an injury, too, getting rolled up on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, we don't run a lot of toss or toss crack or pitch for some reason. So I hear on that. I think our outside run designs are always going to be, or they have been, counter or outside zone. That's
or a bounce play.
Or about like you get a pin and pull. And we've been successful. I mean, it's hard to really find a run design we haven't been successful with because of our O-line and Saquon. So like we can run literally anything. I don't know. I don't know why we don't run more toss crack, pitch, and stuff like that to the outside. That's something you're gonna have to ask Kellen Moore and Stout.
I mean, definitely I expect this Sunday to see some type of variation because, hey, Saquon lit this team up on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Their main objective is to stop him. So if you want to if there was ever a point in time for the creativity to come out, it's this game. That's just like when we watched the 3rd and 1 tush push and they took that shot. They did that. I like that whole sequence because it's like he already made a decision. If we don't get it on 3rd, we're going for it on 4th. And now you give them something to think about. If they line up from the 50 again and they're going for the tush push, now you may have to take one extra person out of the box to hit that because we can hit that big play.
They're called constraint plays. You do something that's probably a low success rate, but like you do it to keep the defense honest. And I hear you on that. I absolutely hear you on that.
Do you realize that if Jalen Hurts, if he completes that pass, the whole conversation about Jalen playing bad is done.
It's completely different.
Regardless of if AJ would have scored.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and I think the reason why he didn't hit that pass is because whatever fake he was trying to make when he put the ball down there at his ankles, he was trying to set up. He was trying to let the timing happen, and it still happened too fast. Yeah. Because if AJ gets another step, he catches that ball. Yeah. Now, I don't know if he scores, but it is.
I almost think like maybe was it a post route? Because I think he was near side.
No, that he went straight up.
I think it was
like a 7 route.
I was like a fly to me because he didn't. Yeah. He split the safeties. Yeah. He split the safeties.
See, I'm almost thinking to myself, like maybe that's where we run a slant or a cross, and that way you can. And then, like you said, let your skill position players let them do what they do.
Well, the reason I think the reason why they did that is because you look at the formations, the defensive formations against the brotherly shove are predictable. You can only do so many things.
Yeah.
So I think he ran right in between those two safeties back there. And it was open.
Yeah.
We just didn't connect.
Timing was off on that because he bobbled that ball right off the bat. So
it's hard to fake from that close to where he's at.
But he wasn't faking him. There was nobody back there. He just did that for the timing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Or he would have been back there double clutching it, waiting to throw. So he did that for the timing because I guarantee you that's exactly how they practiced it. That he went back almost like he was handing it off, and then he came up and threw the ball. It just, the nerves get in there, and when you in game time, things go a little bit faster, and just threw the timing off.
Yeah. Chux, you want to get into your plays? I'm just going at this point. I got a scout here, got an ex-NFL player. I ain't gonna bring that to the conversation. So very rarely, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna observe and listen.
Well, yeah, definitely still input here. If you see something, say it. Don't be shy, Mister. But yeah, let's get into it. So we've got film room. So the first thing I want to get into. Let's get into the Texans. I love this play because it shows good poise by CJ Stroud, and then good route, just physical route running by Nico Collins. This is beginning of the third quarter. Their opening possession is 3rd and 5. And remember, it's 10-6. It's still a game, but now the Texans they have this momentum, right? So if you see here, I think this is 86 Schultz. He's lined up as inline tight end, but he's going to motion out in the next screenshot we see here. He's the number 1 wide receiver all the way to the weak side of the formation on the left side of the formation. The defender followed him, so this indicates what? Man.
Man coverage, single high.
Yep. So you've got on the other side, play side of the formation, you've got Stroud, and I can't remember who's on stack with him, but you got stack formation with the 2 wide receivers here. All right, and Nico is the point on it.
Is that Mechie? That's not Mechie, is it?
I forget if it's
Mechie in the far. Is in the far side slot.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back.
Okay.
I do apologize. Forget which wide receiver is with him. So, but Nico is the point on the stack formation. This is where it's going, and we see here next screenshot. The Chargers are going to send 5. They've got 5 coming in on here, and you see here Nico. He's with I think this is Christian Fulton, number 7. That's who's got on man-to-man coverage, and now Stroud in the pocket. He's going to stay in there. Now, you see Bosa, and then I think this is Henley, the linebacker who's coming in. He's going to stand in the pocket, and he's going to take a lick, but he does a really good job. Now, if you look at Nico here on Fulton, he takes this contact really well. And we all know Nico Collins. He's like, there's a reason why they compare him to Andre Johnson, right? Big, fast, but he's strong, absolutely strong still. So he's going to take this contact and he's going to shove it off like it's nothing. And Christian Fulton, obviously smaller DB, so he's going to eat the contact, shrug him off to get separation. And look at here, Stroud again, right in his face, but he's going to deliver that ball real tough in the pocket. And as we can see the reception here, Nico has it now, and he's got so much room. And now it's a Nico Collins yak game, right? So gets the ball. He's going to make this defender miss. It's a spin move, really fancy, really nice looking spin move too. I think this is a safety, and then he's going to pick up a few more yards and eventually come down. So I love it. I think it's a really good way on 3rd and 5, third down, to open up that third quarter and seize more momentum for your team. And it just goes to the really good connection that Stroud and Nico have together. I think by EPA, midway through the season before Nico got hurt, they led the league in quarterback wide receiver duos in terms of EPA per play. It's insane. So it was good to see them get back on track and really find that connection again in this game. And you could argue that what they were able to do was a big reason why that offense was able to open up and get that lead. For the Texans. So for this play, I know I think the very next play, unfortunately, that's when Mixon fumbled. But at least they were able to still move the ball and establish a connection. So I really wanted to shout out this play. I didn't know if any of you guys had any input, anything you saw you wanted to add to that.
No, I'm sitting here watching the live of it.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing like they come right in front of the linebackers because both linebackers come.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So, and who's that drops back? Who's that?
On the far side of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the weak side of the formation. I forget who that is. I have it.
Yeah. So the right edge takes a step up, then he drops back into coverage.
Yes.
So he's trying to cover for those linebackers. But again, you got that whole little section right. Literally from hash to hash, there's nobody in that zone.
Yep.
And Nico Collins is going right over there, and he throws a strike. And that's a good play call. That's the right play against the right defense. And shout out to the young fella CJ Stroud, because he's under pressure right now. Yes. And he still gets the ball off, and he still gets enough pepper on it to lead him and to make that. So and of course, good spin move by Nico to get him all the way, down to the 24-yard line.
25, 30 yards after that.
Yeah.
Because that play ended up like around 27.
He caught it at the 50.
Right.
Yeah, and it ended at the 25 roughly. So, yeah, 25 yak yards. So, it's great play. I think, again, I love how physical, because like you said, Marcus, that middle of the field, intermediate level is open. There's no one there. So Nico does a really good job on the top of his route of taking that contact and staying vertical to make sure he has that leverage to the inside on that corner on Fulton. That way, when he does make his break to the post, it's a really easy pitch and catch pitch and catch, I say air quotes, but it's a really easy throw to Nico that he can make right in the middle of the field. So awesome job. Love that play. I wanted to shout this out. Let's go to Lamar. I want to make this real quick because this one, there's not too much to get into, but I know Pete, I know that we said last week our leading topic, we talked about Lamar and how he's developed as a passer. I need to shout this out. This was that first touchdown, right in the first quarter. So Lamar here, 3rd and 13. Okay,
this one to Bateman, right?
This is one of Bateman, right? So good job by the Ravens. It's almost like max protection, but it's not really, because you have two people chipping on the outside. You got Hill chipping on the left with Stanley, and then you've got Andrews chipping on his side, right? So the pocket just look at that pocket. Like this is like Eagles O-line pocket, right? So he's got all the time in the world. But Lamar, you want to see this dime, guys? Like, and let me see this. Then let me point this out too. Is right when he throws it, this safety he knows that this safety is drifting to the left. So he's anticipating. He's like, I have that window. Because look, he's triggering right now. He's pulling him back. He's pulling his arm back because he knows this defender is already, his momentum's coming on his left. That window is going to open up. And as you can see here, the ball is coming. The defender is stopped, but as we see here, you look how this is like, that is such.
I mean, when he gets up to throw that, Bateman's not even in frame yet.
He's not even in the frame yet. I'll put it back. So look, this is it's let go, and Bateman is still it's cut off here, but Bateman is still all the way there. So this is absolutely anticipatory throw, knowing where your window is going to be and put it in the absolute perfect spot. That is insane. Like just
that safety that's Minka, right? Because like Minka has to slow down or turn around to get to that spot.
Get to that spot,
and to anything behind him, and he. Like Marcus was saying, like that one step in the wrong direction. If you're a DB, you're done.
Yeah,
barbecue chicken. It's over.
Yeah, it's just so amazing. A great.
Where was he going?
He had the.
There was two that was coming across his face.
Yeah,
right.
I think it was Aguilar, and it may have been likely two that was coming across the formation. And
now who is 25?
That is.
I
have to look on Pro again.
That is Deshaun Elliott.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I'm watch Deshaun Elliott, he drifts outside, past the numbers, and I don't know if he thought the receiver was going to go outside, but he drifts all the way outside the numbers. There's nobody else out there.
Yeah.
So is that a buster play? Watch him drift outside the numbers, and he just keeps going and going and going. I think was he supposed to be the help? Watch him just keep going and going and going.
I think because Elliott's a safety, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was going. Yeah, I wish I could pull it up on the. I have it from the end zone view because I wanted to show the location of the ball, but like, yeah, it's. I'm not sure where he was reading to, but yeah,
he wasn't sure either, but he got beat.
He got beat.
He got beat.
Yeah, it's very possible it was a bust or something. But
he gonna mess around, get promoted to fan.
Isn't Elliott? I was surprised he's on the team because when AJ torched him for 3 touchdowns 2 years ago, could have sworn Elliott was in the back the secondary then.
Him and was it Moreau?
Foster Moreau? Not Foster. Baby Moreau, the corner out of UCLA that got drafted by Washington.
We signed him. We signed him last year and ended up cutting him because remember they was at the Phillies game.
Yep.
No, that was Edwards. That was Edwards.
That was
Edwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget where he's at now. He got cut and then got signed onto a Patrick squad.
He at home watching the playoffs. That's what he
probably. Same game. I'm gonna go to Derrick Henry. I want to give Derrick Henry a shout out. I really like this play.
Is this a touchdown run?
Yeah, there's a touchdown run inside zone, and we're gonna see here. Now, remember what I had said. Like, I've always said this, but like with the Ravens this season really had to adjust their run designs and the way they ran the ball with Henry, because Henry is not a shotgun back. He never really has been. So they did a good job all year of incorporating more pistol and under center runs. And a lot of Derrick Henry's runs that went on for big gains and they had a lot of success with were using that while still having occasional runs, obviously mixing in stuff from shotgun. This touchdown run was really cool because you get to see him running success out of shotgun. But I'll show you also why I think he was able to break away. So inside zone, like I said, you're going to have the combo blocks here on the interior. This is the mesh point. You're going to see what's his name? 50. So what's the other defensive end for the
is that Highsmith?
Highsmith, yeah, sorry. Thank you. I hate when I blank out on names. I always blank out, but yeah, he's going to get penetration, and Henry is going to avoid it. All right, so he's sidestep. Now, this is why I think he's able to pull away. You see now after that sidestep, he has this lane. He has this runway to get downhill, and because that runway is available to him, now he's able to get that build-up speed, that lethal build-up speed. And you see once he gets downhill here, he's at the second level. I mean, the fact that he's this big and the defenders have the angle on him, but he's going to pull away. The fact that he's able to pull away like that, it's unreal. And that's why he is King Henry.
Man, both of them safeties made business decisions.
Yes, yeah, you can argue that too. You absolutely argue that too. But
both of them should be out because he splits them in the middle, and both of them right there should be selling out.
Right there, yeah.
They should be selling out, and both of them made business decisions. They ain't want none of that smoke.
Yeah, I forget which safety is that.
That
stiff arm.
is.
That is.
He stiff arms Minka, I thought.
No, number 6. Who's number 6 on the Steelers?
Cornerback 20. That's 24. That's Joey Porter Jr.
24 is Joey Porter. So he's on the other side.
That's Joey Porter Jr. and James Pierre.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Joey Porter's trying to catch up to him.
Yeah, 24 and 42.
42. Yeah, trying to catch him. Yeah. Number 6 is the one that got stiff arms.
Yeah.
That's bad. But I mean, it really is.
That's Patrick Queen.
That's Patrick. That's inside linebacker. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but he didn't. Why are you reaching? If he dives horizontally and just falls in front of him, he's probably
right here, right?
Yeah, he didn't want that smoke.
He did it. Former teammate too.
He didn't want that smoke.
Well, no, not former teammate. Not former teammate. Forgot.
Former Raven.
Yeah. Former Raven.
He hit him with that home and auto insurance.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because if he goes low, then he's probably going to put him in the way of the help that's coming in the other direction.
Yeah.
To give them some type of play at him.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why he's trying to go high here. I don't know why he's trying to go high. But
Derrick Henry is the size of Ray Lewis.
Yeah, and he runs this.
He's bigger than Patrick Queen.
Those powerful strides, yo. Like he's got like. That's why when you give him that alleyway to get downhill, it's game over because his strides are so powerful and so. It's unreal. It's unreal.
And have you ever noticed if you watch him run, his feet don't come too far off the ground. That's why you take his feet away, he gonna go right. And don't forget, we put the blueprint out on him.
Yep.
When we held him to 28 yards when we played him 2 years ago? When he was still with Tennessee?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
We wrote the blueprint on that. If you can get him, I mean, easier said than done, but if you can get him behind the line of scrimmage, he's useless.
Because he's not the most agile or quickest. Like he's not. That's not his game. He needs that, and that's
north and south.
Yeah, that's why I pointed out. Like usually on these shotgun runs, he doesn't have that much success of breaking off long ones because he can't get downhill the way he can when they're under center or in pistol. But this was a good one because they inadvertently avoiding that early penetration opened up that runway for him to catch that run. Get north.
Like you said, he needs that build up speed to really become effective. But I have a guy that size, height and weight with that speed, and then more importantly, the stamina to be able to maintain it and actually run away from secondary players. That's general. That's just a specific set of skills. That's like Jason Statham. I have a specific set of skills. You know what I mean?
And then the power and strength to stiff arm defenders who try to go high.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know why you even want to do that. Like if you not like Cooper. Cooper had the perfect form, and he's like, I'm hitting this dude right in the center of his stomach, right through his belly button.
Take away his legs.
And I'm gonna try to take whatever happens at that point.
Yep.
I didn't think we was going to ever get another running back that was the size of Eddie George, let alone bigger.
You read my mind.
Yeah, faster than Eddie George.
Let alone bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Crazy. Last one here. I think you guys all know this one. I pulled it up because I put it up on Twitter, so might as well do it here. Zone run, the very first play from scrimmage for the Eagles, and hey, look, it's pistol.
Yeah, I like it.
With that jet motion, as we see here up the middle. But this is what I highlighted on Twitter when I did my breakdown of it, is the footwork, vision, and tempo of Saquon. The way he's able to string all that together. It's really poetry, guys. It's art. Like you don't have a lot of, I think, in my opinion, the only other running back who can match that type of combination when you talk about feet, you talk about agility, vision, and just seamlessly working with tempo behind the line of scrimmage, I think the only other one is Bijan. I think that's literally the only other one in the league that can have that combo. you see here as he after the mesh point gets up to the first level, and I love how it doesn't really show here because it's screenshots. But if you see the video of it, actual video of it, his tempo here to stay vertical before hitting this is what you press the line of scrimmage, and when there's nothing there, you're going to hit that next gap, right? So he's going to make the cut to the left. He's going to get to the next gap, and then once he's here, also this jump cut, like when he makes these jump cuts from gap to gap, again, it's no wasted movement. It's efficient spacing on each cut. So you're going to make this, get to the next gap, and you see here, he's going to press again. He's going to square his shoulders, get north-south for like a split second to help continue to draw in these defenders. And then once he's able to do that, that's when he gets, again, to the outside. And then once he's able to get to the outside, there's no way the defense can really do anything when they have those numbers. They don't have the speed. And I think that Ballantyne, number 24, who got anointed by Goddard later on in the game too. But yeah, he tries to make the tackle. Saquon spins away, and then he's able to get all that yardage. So it's I love it. I love watching him. And the thing is, Saquon has developed this. He wasn't always like this early in his career. To be able to develop and get better at his vision, to be disciplined in between the tackles, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I know, Marcus, you as a former running back, you also could appreciate this because it's rare when you see this combination.
Well, the good thing about Saquon is even when he does make cuts, and Kenny Gainwell does this as well, Saquon is always looking to get back north and south, period. But you know what's irking me about this play is the tight ends. Our tight end blocking is hot garbage.
Well, not from Goddard. Goddard's
That's not what it used to be, though.
Goddard has had his days. I know there was one game. I did film study on, and it may have been the Carolina game, and I was like, "What in the hell is going on with Goddard?" No, it was Calcaterra that game because I think Goddard was still hurt.
I think Calcaterra is still one of the reasons why we lost the second Washington game.
The second Washington game. Well, Jenkins too. Both of them were in for a lot of plays, and they both they were horrible.
But Saquon has got a hole straight ahead. He's got a gap. He sees everybody's back. You got Goddard's back up there. You got Big Mekhi Becton about to get him right here. All he's got to do is get this block. But he gets beat across his face. So now Saquon sees that, and this is when he gets the bounce. Now, again, great job from Saquon just doing Saquon things. But if Calcaterra gets this block, that is a straight shot, and in this safety up here, that's his man to beat. And I'll take that matchup with Saquon. Because you're probably gonna end up with the same amount of yards, or if he can beat that guy, he's gonna score, and he's done that before. But absolutely, yeah. Calcaterra, Lord have mercy, son. our tight end blocking, man, is not good, not good at all. So that's one of the things we got to get better at that.
Right, because if you're going to turn this 20-yard run, this 20-yard run, like you said, if Goddard shores that up. This is to the house, almost, because it's the right play call against the right defense, and they execute it.
Exactly.
There's nothing else you can ask for. But we'll see, man. We will see.
Let me see something real quick. Now, because this is stuff that makes me crazy because I'm looking at it, and the first thing I think of, if Calcaterra goes in motion to his right, that's a pitch right. I'll take that.
You bring it all the way back to the pitch.
Bring it back to the pitch. And that's
an easier block.
That's a much easier block. All you got to do is make sure the dude doesn't cross your face. And by the time, even if he does, Saquon is at least even with you. And that means that he's got to make the tackle with him going forward.
Yeah.
That's the key. If they get penetration, because what did we run that one play? We ran the one play where we ran that stupid ass screen where he just runs a wide, and you got Devontae out there blocking, and it's like that's never going to work. That's a wasted play. I hate when we ran that play because every time we run that play, I think they can't think of nothing to do.
Yeah,
and they get this situation. He should be able to go north and south to that second level. Okay, and it's up. The safety is his man to make him miss. But
right, this is like the safety is on Saquon at that point. Like you said, if that's a pitch right, Calcaterra, all he has to do is cross his face, and you said Saquon is even. If he's even, he's leaving.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And then at that point, the safety has to make a reaction decision. I'm going left, I'm going right. You take a red pill, blue pill. Chances are, and it's up to Saquon to make a miss. And I like our chances in that situation.
And that also kind of bleeds into with Jalen. Dude, when it's a blitz coming or anything like that, or if it's not a blitz coming, why aren't we checking the ball down to Saquon more often?
We don't. I feel like we talked about this. Running back screens, dump offs to running backs.
We don't screen. We don't screen at all.
We don't screen at all. We don't use the running back as a dump off. The one time we did, I mean, one time you can remember this season was game 2, Monday Night Football. Saquon was on the flat, but I don't know. I don't know why Sirianni. And I feel like when Kellen Moore was in Dallas,
they used to kill us with it.
They used to kill it. Like there was things in there with running back dump offs.
I don't know. I don't know why we don't use more. I really don't.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't know. That's something the coaches would have to just answer. Like I know that with screens, it's such a high. I won't say high risk, but like you do need so many moving parts to work in unison for it. So I know that like it is a little risky on that end, but at the same time, it does get executed perfectly. It's such a good advantage, a good weapon to have. As a play caller, it also helps like get into a little bit of a rhythm. From the quarterback's perspective.
Absolutely. Here's the thing with this: Saquon doesn't necessarily have to be on screens. Saquon could be the check down, and as long as as long as he's going face to face with a linebacker, you give him the option route. Inside, outside is up to you.
Right.
He's going to win that battle.
Yes.
Kenny Gainwell should be the screen guy because Kenny Gainwell's he's a better pass blocker than Saquon. So what you do is you let him go up in the line of scrimmage, get the chip, and then he can kind of drift off. Exactly. Or he can just stay in the middle.
Do you think, going back to the height question, do you think with Jalen's his height and his inability, because that has to be a looping throw and it's going to be a more crowded area for that screen pass to get over, do you think that could be okay?
Because you can design it. You can design it so you split the defensive line.
Okay.
And then his job is to find the gap. Or, let's just say you got Jurgens blocking left and Mekhi blocking right. So you should have a little gap. So the play is designed to wherever Kenny Gainwell is, whether he's blocking on Jurgens' left side, his job is to curl up in that other gap to find the opening so you can have that line of sight. You can plan it like that. They do that all the time.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, shit, if Bryce Young can do it, if your boy down in Arizona can do it, Jalen can do it.
Drew Brees did it. Drew Brees.
There's no difference, and you just got to scheme it and game plan it. And obviously, you want to try to chalk it up to the personnel matchups, but it can be done. We just don't do it. I'm surprised we haven't gone back in the annals and looked up some of Andy Reid's screens. That we were unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know, and I know that. Yeah, even Chip Kelly, he spammed screens all the time, and it feels like after Chip Kelly, it's just like, okay, we've had enough screens, like no more screens. Like
that ship sailed though. We had a prime opportunity last year with DeAndre Swift, and we didn't use it at all.
Yeah. We didn't. Well.
So 3-step drop before we get out of here for the night. Winners and losers. Any combination.
Any combination.
Who wants to go first? You mean winners or losers? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, so we do a 3-step. So we take a topic, we pick 3. So you could from wild card weekend, or it could even be coaches that got fired, coaches that got hired, in a situation, just overall football landscape. Who are your winners and losers in the last 7? We'll go to the last 7 days.
Shoot! Winners are DeMeco Ryan and the Texans. The losers are Sam Darnold. I tweeted at that game. I was like, Sam Darnold meet Vikings fan. Vikings fans, I'm introducing you. Stan. Do y'all know each other? You know, it was matter of fact. I put a thing. I took that little gif of Charlie Brown trying to kick the ball from Lucy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had Vikings fans as Charlie Brown and Lucy was saying, it was like, you know what? Real talk. Sam Darnold probably cost himself $30 million.
He did.
Yeah, easy.
He's going to get paid by someone, but it's not going to be what it could have been.
It's not going to be. Yeah, 9 sacks isn't all on him.
No,
it's not all.
At that point, that offensive line was Swiss cheese.
Yeah. So,
and the route, like they kept calling long developing routes, like and
they were trying to force it to Justin Jefferson.
That played right into what the Rams wanted to do. They're like, we don't have to get quick pressure on him. We can wait because he's going to hold on to it because the routes they run are so long. There's deep downfield. So I don't. Yeah, it was bad. Kevin O'Connor. I honestly think Sean McVay was like, I know what Kevin O'Connell's going to do, and had a, he
had a game plan for it.
A game plan for it. So,
and everybody and their mama know it's very easy to frustrate Justin Jefferson. Double team him. Double team him. The best thing about Justin Jefferson the other day was them gold chains. That's it.
I would say a winner for me. I would say fans. I mean, we literally get an AFC Conference Championship game this weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's Sunday night, 6:00. That's it. I think this has the opportunity to be like what we saw Chiefs Bills in that infamous Gabe Davis game when he had 4 touchdowns and went to overtime, and Josh Allen knew that he wasn't going to get the ball back.
Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I would also go Mike Vrabel. Happy for him to get a job.
Yeah. Good one.
And then I would say Cowboys fans in a way, but
winner or loser for them.
Loser because your owner sat there and told you this week, "Hey, I brought this team as a hobby." As a hobby. This is my play toy. He literally took some dude that makes 6 figures and buys a box car or buys a 1960 Corvette or dream car that's busted, broken down as his rehab project. That's what Jerry Jones is looking at the Cowboys. I'm never giving this up because this is not what I want. This is what I want to do with my money.
Man, it is amazing that the last thing Jerry Jones is going to be remembered for is his scene in Landman. Ain't got shit to do with football.
Nope.
Because he did the damn thing on the show, on that show.
Yeah.
It was a brief scene, but yeah, that's hilarious to me. But I think the winner is Mike McCarthy because he's going to end up in Chicago.
Yeah. They need something.
I don't know if he's going to end up in Chicago. I hope he doesn't. I don't think he's the right guy for Chicago. I don't know why they would even want to have interviewed him. I mean, I hope he doesn't end up in Chicago.
If I'm Chicago, I'm literally giving the keys to Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Because Caleb's progression is the most important. Yeah. His progression is the most important.
Yeah, because he's like, woof, that dude is bipolar.
Yeah,
he looks phenomenal, and then it's like, bruh, what were you thinking? Yeah. So, but he's a rook, so you know.
Yeah.
He's a rook.
My 3. We talked about CJ Stroud already. Like I had CJ Stroud as one of my winners, so like I want to compliment him because remember the Chargers were the team that was favored.
Yeah, everybody picked the Chargers.
2.5.
The Texans.
3. I know where you got it at.
Yeah, and the Texans were the past several weeks, end of the season, they were reeling. It didn't look good. The offense didn't look good, and for CJ Stroud to come out, and that the play that woke them up was that the botch snap, the fumble.
Yep.
Where he rolled down and found, I think it was the tight end, Schultz.
Schultz,
yeah, like that woke him up. And he was making plays with his legs, making great reads, standing in the pocket, finally looking like he did in his rookie season. And for that to happen, he stepped up when he was the underdog and when everyone counted out the Texans. I mean, you had Rex Ryan saying, oh, like the Chargers have a bye week.
Yep.
Yeah.
For him to come out and have that type of game, I think it speaks volumes. It doesn't completely make up for the bad season he had, but for it to at least end, and who knows what they'll do against the Chiefs, but for him to have another really good playoff win on his belt as a second-year starter, like that is an awesome performance of CJ Stroud. So I want to give him his flowers. We talked about Texans D as well as another winner. We already talked about Sam Darnold as a loser. He was going to be another one of mine. So I'll substitute that. I'm going to say a loser out of this too is Mike Tomlin, and we're going to have a lot of conversations this offseason about Mike Tomlin. But to go again with another playoff loss on their belt, I'm a big Mike Tomlin fan, but I also am open to at least the conversation that is it time to move on. I'm not saying I would. I'm saying that I can see a reason and an avenue and a path for the Steelers to want to move on. But I'll say it here with you because you're here, Marcus. I think if you're going to move on from Mike Tomlin, the only way you should do it is if it's a complete rebuild. And I mean from top down. And I'm talking about you fire the GM, you fire everyone. It's clean slating it, and you are trading away all of your valuable assets. And I'm talking about even maybe trading away TJ Watt. The only way you get rid of Mike Tomlin is if you want to start from scratch. If you want to start fair clean and make sure you have all the draft assets possible in order to get that franchise quarterback, then go. Do it. Fine. Do it. But
that's a gamble.
Don't half-ass your rebuild. Don't move on from Tomlin and then be like, all right, we're still gonna try to win next year with a new coach. Like
right.
It's not.
You can't retool if you're gonna let go of Tomlin.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then you might mess around and end up like Chicago.
You might.
Yeah, I know. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm not moving on from him. I'm not moving on from him.
You can't. And I'm not gonna blame that on. Let's get Mike Tomlin a quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have a better contingency plan for a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Russ never got up to.
Tomlin deserves blame because there are. I don't like how he's chosen as offensive coordinator the past few years.
Right.
I don't like his game management. He's way too conservative now. Like everyone's going on fourth down when it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Tomlin is one of those coaches that still isn't. There's still issues with timeouts here and there, and like he deserves blame. But this is what I said to people who said, "Oh, you have to move on. He hasn't won a playoff game." I said it would be one thing if he was like Andy Reid and Belichick toward the end of their tenures. They were losing. They had losing seasons.
Yeah.
And got fired. They lost the team. Mike Tomlin hasn't lost this team. Mike Tomlin is still getting these players to play, and he's winning games. So it's not a matter of him losing the locker room. It's far from it. He doesn't have a quarterback.
Did he fire Matt Canada?
Yes. Yeah. Too late, but he did a little too late. He should have done it a long time ago. But yes, he absolutely fired Matt.
Because I remember when we found out the news that Kenny Pickett was going to start, I was like, wait a minute. Kenny Pickett had a winning record in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett was like 14-10 or something like that. And because I remember when Matt Canada got fired, and then the dude in Buffalo got fired.
Ken Dorsey
got fired after freaking Josh Allen threw 3 picks in a game. And I'm like, how the hell are you going to fire him after throwing 3 interceptions? They don't practice.
Well, it worked out. It did
work out.
Yeah, it worked out for them.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's like they're being scapegoated.
Exactly. So from that standpoint, you're right. I think Tom is running out of time. But you can't get there with an average quarterback, and Russ ain't doing it no more.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not. If it were up to me, I'm keeping him. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He comes down as a loser because he's losing again, and now you have all this conversation. It's going to be another topic all off season of, hey, is it time to move on? And if I wouldn't. But there is an approach where I'd be like, okay, I can kind of get it. Because if you want to bottom out, go bottom out, and bottom out and try to your best to find a franchise quarterback if that's your route. But like, if you're still trying to win, like, you better hang on to Tomlin.
That's a hard search, though.
It's
I tell you what? I got one more winner for you.
Yeah,
what's that?
Me. Because Sean Payton got his ass whooped.
Oh, he's about Chux is about to relish it with you.
Let me be honest with you. I am not the biggest Russell Wilson fan, but the way he treated him last year in Denver, I was like, F you, dude.
Yep.
F you, because there's a way that you're supposed to do business, and that ain't it.
Yeah.
So I was so happy when they got their ass whooped. I couldn't stay. I was like, I do not want to see him in the playoffs. I don't want him to have no success. I was like, because if that had been anybody else, and they just did nobody say shit about it. I was like, man, screw that.
Yeah. Peyton's always been like this too. He has the rep that he's an a-hole.
But you know what? Just like that asshole in Philly at the stadium, he picked the right one because he knew Russ Wilson wasn't going to offer too much pushback. He picked the right one to do that too, because you can't do that to everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can miss me with that.
Yeah. So before we leave, if I'm Chicago, would you not call Pittsburgh? Would you trade number 1 picks for Mike Tomlin as your head coach?
If the Steelers are willing to listen, why not do your due diligence and try? Why not try?
No, because, and I'm saying it from the standpoint of, look at the who's left as a coach that you would want.
Ben Johnson. So, like, I would rather have Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely would rather have Ben Johnson. I would have to think about other candidates. Maybe there are other ones where you can just sign. So I agree with that. I think Ben Johnson should be number 1. Get him. But if like him and like a couple others are not coming, why not just reach out? That's all I'm saying. Just why not? Just,
I guess it can't hurt. Shoot your shot.
Yeah,
for sure.
Shoot your shot.
Yep.
On that note, Marcus, Coach, we thank you for rocking with us tonight.
You got it, bro. It's been too long, man. We should have done this a while ago, but that was my fault.
Hey, listen, we'll do it. You have an open seat, brother.
All right.
Open seat. Anytime you want, you already know.
We'll make it happen, man. We'll make it happen.
All right. For the kid Chux, for Coach Marcus, it's the boy TFO OGP, Film No Lie, A2D Radio. Marcus, I think you go live on Saturdays, Friday nights now?
I did, man. I'm probably doing live. I did a live stream earlier today.
Right.
I'm probably going live about 3 times a week, but my times are all over the place.
Gotcha.
I'm
turning notifications on is what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay like right around like 8 or 9 o'clock, but I'm playing with it again because when I was with A2D, I was going at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then my schedule changed. My work schedule got messed up, so I started going at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then I pushed it back. Tonight I went at 8. So I'm still trying to, especially going into a new year.
Yeah,
I'm trying to mess around with some things, and
yeah,
you know, we at the tail end. I'm about to go back knee deep into the WNBA and the women's NCAA tournament. So I'm big into that. So I'm about to start watching Unrivaled. I don't know how I'm gonna like it because I'm not a big fan of 3-on-3. Yeah, but I'm gonna try it out. If I don't like it, I don't like it. You know what I mean? So
I don't think this is a hot take.
You dabble into other stuff. Like a bunch of it's really good.
I don't think this is a hot take, but Juju better than Caitlin. So on that note,
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But I would say the best player in the country right now is the homegirl Hannah Hidalgo.
Okay,
The thing I don't like about Juju, and now first of all, I'm not going to disagree with you because I agree. Mm-hmm. Juju is the best, And yes, she's better than Caitlin Clark because she can do the same thing. Her handles are better, and she's 3 inches tall.
Yep.
So, as a Caitlin Clark fan, I'm more of a Kelsey Mitchell fan too because that's my homegirl.
Okay.
Her father was a friend of mine before he passed away. He's my frat brother.
Okay.
It's funny story. Her father, Kelsey Mitchell's father, is the reason I went to Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
We went to high school together, and we had the school. Everybody would come back in the summertime. We had a real nice weight room back in the day. So everybody would come back to the school to work out. So we won my senior year in high school. We were ranked the 12th best team in the country by USA Today, and we lost. And we ended up winning our state title, and we ended up like 24th in the country. But the rules were high school athletes were not allowed to talk to scouts until your season was over. After we won the state title, I caught mono and got sick. And the 2 schools I wanted to go to was Arizona State or Michigan State. George Perlis came to our school when I was out sick and recruited another one of my teammates. Another one of my teammates ended up going to, so I missed all the recruits coming in because I was out of school that following week after the state title. And so I would have ended up either at Toledo or Indiana State. And then I was in the weight room working out, and Kelsey Mitchell's father, his name was Mark Mitchell, rest in peace, Big Mark, saw me on the hum. It was like, yo, where you going? You signing with anybody yet? And I was like, nah. He said, why don't you ride down to Richmond with me and meet Coach Kidd? So I literally rode down with him. He introduced me to Coach Kidd, and Coach Kidd told me, he said, I didn't think we was going to be able to recruit you, so we didn't even bother. We thought you was going to sign somewhere else.
Wow. He
offered me a scholarship on the spot. And I was like, dude, I was like, is this how this happens? Like I had to ask him. I was like, you mean like a full scholarship? He was like, yeah. And I called my parents. I'm like, I'm about to sign it with Eastern Kentucky. That's how I ended up at Eastern Kentucky because of Kelsey Mitchell's father.
Wow.
And then he ended up being my big brother because he pledged me when I pledged Alpha. Yeah, man. And dude, he was a DJ. I used to carry his crates. When I was online, he would always make me carry his crates to the parties, all that, man. We go way back, man. So I always had love for Kelsey Mitchell. So I'm an Indiana fan because of Kelsey, but I love Caitlin Clark. I love all girls in the WNBA, man. I love it because the NBA is hot garbage right now.
Yeah, it's not basketball. It's not organized basketball.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting. I'm interested to see what this Unrivaled is because I watched the 3-on-3 in the All-Star game last year. I watched it in the Olympics. I never really got into what Ice Cube was doing, but and what I saw, I was like, I ain't interested. So I'm gonna give it a try. So I've been trying to follow it, keeping up with the players and the whole process. So just to see if I'll be interested in it. Like I said, if I don't like it, I don't like it. It will get the click.
All right. Well, you can find Coach Markus on Pro Fan Talk and all social media platforms. You already know AT Radio everywhere. We wish you guys a happy new year. Yes, I'm still saying it because this could be the first time somebody reaching out to us and digesting our product. So we thank you for rocking with us. Have a good night.
Go Birds.
Go.